Well, hey folks, this is Fat Guy Flies RC, and this is the Ailerons F-15 Twin 64. Let's take a Strike Eagle, let's take her up, have a little fun with her. Run a 4000 HRB, 6S, got the drop tanks on, flying them high rates.
Motor on.
Timer set for 3.5 minutes. Wind is kind of windy, but it's out of the west, and this is an east-west runway, so that's okay. One of the best sounding RC planes out there. Just the way that ductwork is, it just makes it sound just like a turbine. All right, and I still have not installed afterburners in this thing. I need to do that. Alrighty, let me get over here next to block the sun for camera precious. Alright, we're flying in our AS3X. Alright, high rates. Here we go. Back off to 3/4 throttle there. Do need a little bit of elevator. Got the battery forward just a touch more because it is kind of windy.
Time remaining 3 minutes.
Half throttle. I'll take it up now. And that's where she peters out right there. What a great flying F-15. I tell you, when I feel the need for an F-15 fix, which I get that sometimes, this is what I grab. Trust me, I have come close to getting the Free Wing 90 many times. It's been in my cart more times than I can count. But then I think, man, but I got that Ailerons F-15 I just love so much. All right.
Time remaining 2 minutes.
So a 2-minute warning there.
Gear down.
Got our gear down, I can see them. There we go. That was a no flap landing. I really wish we were landing from the west. My depth perception is so much better from the west. Hold on, I got off my dashboard there for a second. Still got a 1.5 minutes. Let's take it up one more time. Try to get us. That runway is so bumpy. And you gotta remember, this has very narrow gear. So, but maybe I'll get off my duff tonight and actually install the afterburners in this thing. Alright, don't be in a hurry with that narrow gear.
Takeoff flaps.
2 takeoff flaps this time, the wind's not that bad.
Gear up.
Now we'll go back to the man cave later after the flights, however many flights I can get in on this thing today, and we'll do over rates and AS3X settings and all CG and all that kind of good stuff. I'm gonna bring the gear down as I go by.
Down.
Gear coming down. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now the model does not have thrust reverse, just so you know. All right, 30 seconds left on a 3.5 minute timer, so flying for the full 3 minutes.
Motor off.
Motor off. Top loader, so that's great. And whoa, the bugger, 35%, so that's a perfect storage rate. And folks, that right there is one of the best sounding, best flying F-15 RC F-15s you can get today. It really is. Hobby Zone had sent this out to me for review. I've had it since it was released. When they first, I want to say when it was first released, they sent it to me. And I have been loving the daylights out of it. The thing absolutely flies amazing. At first, I didn't like flying it with the tanks on. To me, it seemed a little wonky, if that makes any sense. But now, I only fly it with the tanks on. To me, she's much more locked in with the tanks on it. So it creates like a vacuum on either side of the wings that keeps her a little more secure. So, well, at least that's what I've been told. Anyway, she's in the, what's that? The Oregon Air National Guard livery, which even on this cloudy, overcast day, you can really see the markings and the livery on it. Good looking plane. Folks, thank you so much for watching. We'll go over everything back in the man cave. God bless y'all. Don't forget, faith, family, and friends, and keep them in the air. Bye-bye. Hey folks, Fat Guy Flies RC, and this is the Ailerons F-15 Strike Eagle, and in the Oregon Air National Guard livery. Take her up and have some fun. Running to 4,000 HRB 6S enter. Flying in my high rates. After the flight, and every 3.5 minute timer after the flight, we'll go over CG and everything, rates and everything back in the man cave. All right, right, left, up, down, right, left. That's one of the best sounding RC planes in the industry. That twin 64 just sounds so good. All right, line up my center line. Take off flaps because the wind has kind of died. All right, here we go. Love the way this thing sounds.
Gear up. Flaps up. Remaining 3 minutes.
All right, we're going to take it up now. Bring her right at us. All right, do a stall test now. All right, you're flying long, you lose power, clean stall. What does she do? Not touching anything. All right, she just starts gliding forward. Okay, now we're gonna bring her back at me, back at us. Okay. You're flying along, you lose power. Start holding up elevator, 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 elevator. All right, she just kind of starts slumping forward. Start seeing them wings rock. Really couldn't determine which wing's gonna drop, so let's do that again. Come back at us again. Okay, we'll do it, kind of repeat it the same way. All right, you're flying along, you lose power. Hold up on the elevator, 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 elevator. Okay, she just slumps forward. Doesn't really seem to favor one wing to the other.
Minutes.
All right. Check our CG. Very little down elevator pressure needed to maintain forward or level flight. So
Gear down.
that tells me that my CG is good. Very little needed. All right.
Landing flaps.
Get lined up with the runway. Throttle, control my sink rate. All right. Doesn't have thrust reverse. Doesn't need it.
Flaps up.
All right. Still got 1:20. Take up a couple more fun stuff, and then we'll land it and get a battery report. Love the way this thing sounds. Man. And I think she flies better with the tanks. All right.
Takeoff flaps.
Take off flaps.
Up.
Yeah, fly. When you're flying a jet, you fly purposefully. You fly into it. Everything you do is for a reason. You don't just float. You don't let go. You fly it. All right. Do one more pass.
Gear down.
Start bringing the gear down. Make sure my gear is down.
Seconds. Landing flaps.
Get lined up with the runway. Establishing my sink rate, my glide. Not quite enough flare, but if I would have held off a little bit longer, I would have had a little bit better of a landing, but I'll take that all day long.
Flaps up.
Hobby Zone, I want to thank you for sending this plane out to me for a review. Arrows, thank you for making it. And Arrows,
Motor off.
y'all have got to come out with some new products. Y'all haven't had a new plane in almost 2 years. I mean, you had that little overpriced Mustang, but that little one, it's like $179. I'm sorry, but I mean, it's a nice plane. I got it. It flies really well. Got lights and everything, but it was $179. It was going to be $229, and
Motor off.
no, sorry.
Motor off.
I mean, it's a nice plane and everything, but that was more of a $139 plane. All right. Yeah, and they sponsor me, and I'm saying that. But they know me. If I'm not honest, I won't work with them. 19%, so good thing we landed. All right, so we had 2 seconds left on a 3.5 minute timer. So 3.5 minutes is all you want to do. It's all you want to do. Now, there's one small drawback of this plane. I'll go ahead and show it instead of talking about in the man cave. And that is the cooling is an issue. Not for the ESC. ESC's got plenty of nice cooling back there. They're right there. They got a nice grate. They stay nice and cool. But your radio and your battery, the only cooling is that little bitty hole right there for the wire to come through from the retracts. That ain't nothing. They need to design this to get a little more duct work or something in there to get some air going over those batteries and over your electronics. So that's a miss on their part. But anyways, there you go. But other than that, she's probably one of the best flying RC jets I've ever flown. She flies great, lands great, and looks wonderful. All right, folks. Well, thank you for watching. God is good. And don't forget, faith, family, and friends. Arrows F-15s. Keep them in the air, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye. Well, hey, folks. Fat Guy Flies RC. This is the Arrows F-15 Twin 64, the Oregon Air National Guard F-15. All right. As you can see, I've got her on a Hobby King balancer. Now, unfortunately, don't ask me, you can't get this thing. This thing's been discontinued. It was only 14 bucks, 14 or 15, 14.95. But there are other balancers out there that you can buy. But this one, I'm hoping Hobby King, hear me Hobby King, that they will bring this back, because I get requests for this thing all the time, and it's just a great tool to have. It was only $14.95. Well, anyways, enough about that. Anyways, where I've got the battery, which I'm getting ready to share, you can see she CGs just fine. I've got her CG'd on the marks where she's 135 to 125 to 135 back from the leading edge root, and that's where the wing touches the fuse. All right, so we'll take it off of there. That's with the tanks on, gear down. Okay, talk about, you all watched both my flights. Let me put this away real quick. Great flying plane. Has one of the best sounds of any RC jet out there. I don't know which one sounds better, this one or the FMS F-86. Let's talk about our rates. We talked about CG. Oh, let me show you where I put that battery to get that CG. Got a 4000 HRB. Let me get closer, because that's that strap mic. Okay, that's that. I don't actually have it anchored down, but you can see where I've got that 4000. Okay, got a little bit of room here. So that's where I put the 4000, and that's where she CGs at perfectly. 4000 6S is just perfect for this plane. Now you can go with a 3300 maybe, or I don't know, maybe a 38, but a 4000 just gives me the right combination of flight time, performance, and just a good battery. It's just a good size for it. I like flying with the tanks on. She seems to be a little more locked in with the tanks on. So, all right, let's talk about our rates. Talked about CG. Talk about our rates. Let me make sure you can see everything. All right, good. All right. The rates that I flew in, my high rates, 100% throws, 30% expo on the Ailerons. Elevator, 100% throws, 30% expo. Rudder, 100% throws with 40% expo. Okay, well that's the flying rates. Now, my flap system, flaps up. Oh, there's no mix needed for a flapped elevator mix. Flaps up on the Spectrum is negative 100%. Takeoff is negative 25%, and then landing is 100%, no mix needed, 2-second deployment.
Flaps up.
All right, let's talk about our AS3X settings. Make sure my motor's off. Okay, takes it just a second to come up. My AS3X settings, they're at one-time gains. The gains that I fly this one in on roll, pitch, and yaw are 15%, 20%, and 26% on roll, pitch, and yaw. Okay, on priority, roll, pitch, and yaw, all at 100. All at 100, roll, pitch, and yaw. Roll, pitch, and yaw. Stop lock, 50, 50, 50 on roll, pitch, and yaw. And on roll, pitch, and yaw. Bleh. And then on the release rate, I leave it at the default of 55, 55, 75. Okay. Gains are at one time. I do not have the nose wheel gyro set up, because I only have a 6-channel AR631 receiver, which does fine, and the plane is so locked in that really I don't have any real issue taking off with her wanting to drift. Like my Free Wing Typhoon and another one, the 80 millimeter Free Wing, they had a little bit of problem with it wanting to drift a little bit. So nose wheel gyro are better on those. Just seem to be. Now, flight time on this, 3.5 minutes. Don't fly any more than that. 3.5 minutes is the best you're going to get. Just be aware. Now, if you maybe I'll push it to 3 minutes or 45 seconds, but you're going to bring your battery back at probably under 20%. And I like bringing my battery back at 20 to 30%, somewhere in there. That's just me, and I've got a long history of lipos and keeping them for long term, so I kind of feel like I know what I'm talking about. The plane does need a clear coat. It's got very dry. It's getting dry over the years, so I do need to give it a clear coat. I have not done that yet. There are one drawback to this plane that is to me a defect in their design, is that you've got incredible cooling. That middle cheater there, that all is dedicated cooling for those ESCs, okay? But for your electronics and your battery, there's nothing. I mean, basically, there's nothing. The only cooling you've actually got is if that little hole right there, that's where the wire comes through for your landing gear, okay? And that's it. And that's what goes up over and there's not an exit hole anywhere that I can see. So that is not good, because heat is what kills electronics, okay? So Arrows, if you're watching this, which I've been told you do, please, if you do like a version 2 of this, which would be great, give us a little more plastic, a little bit, maybe some more lights than just these two. But give us some, but more importantly, if you don't do anything else, give us better cooling for our electronics, because that eats up the batteries and that gets people discouraged. And if you're in this field long enough, in these RC planes long enough, you'll find that batteries are one of your biggest ongoing expenses. Now, the rest of the plane, still absolutely incredible gear. Let me get my fingers out of the way so I can give you a demonstration of it. Whoa. Pretty darn quick. And the other thing, Arrows, come on, let's do, other airplanes have full flying stabs. This needs full flying stabs. I'm sorry, you know, let's not stop this with this gluing on epoxy on the tail and everything. Let's bolt this stuff in, because then if you crash it, you unbolt it, buy a new part, you'd make more money, Arrows, if you did that. If we could replace the parts, you know, that'd be a lot easier. But other than that, just minor things. This plane flies amazing. It's very, very locked in. I know it's a very overused term, but it's a good term because it really describes everything. But give us some more lights. Okay, Arrows, give us some more lights. Give us full flying stabs, and give us a better cooling for the electronics. That is really, really needed for this plane. All right, folks. Well, thank you so much for watching, and put a comment in the video, if you would, about how you like this setup for me doing these battery ports. And this is how I'm going to be doing my builds and everything. I'll actually be able to have a camera mounted from the ceiling to look down on the parts when I'm filming and doing the actual assembly of these planes, and then we'll be able to do this sort of interaction back and forth. But I like this setup. Let me know what y'all think. But back to the plane, Arrows, do these things. You really need, and Arrows, could you please come out with something new? Y'all ain't come out with anything new in like 2.5 years. So come on now. Come on. Come on. Great plane. I love it. And there you go. I can't really say much else about it. I mean, I don't have a script, so I just come in here and tell you what I think. So, well, folks, thank you for watching. God bless y'all. There'll be a purchase link in the description of this video, and there'll be a code there. You use that link, it takes you to your desk, it takes you to the coupon, takes you to your checkout. And if you buy the plane, if there's a coupon code field in there, you put in there in all caps FGFRC, FGFRC. Okay, I just repeated it. All, you know, Fat Guy Flies RC. If you put that in there, you'll get $10 off the price. I mean, $10. I know it's not much, but that's all Hobby Zone would let me give y'all. So, well, there you go. Y'all have a good, and God bless y'all. This is a great flying jet. This is Fat Guy Flies RC saying, don't forget, faith, family, and friends, God is good. And folks, let's keep them in the air. Bye, y'all.